Hello everyone. Today we will discuss hind brain. Today we will discuss hind brain. So the hind brain is also called as a rhombencephalon. Hind brain is also called as rhombencephalon. Hind brain is also called as rhombencephalon. Next one, it contains mainly three regions. It contains mainly three regions. Contain mainly three regions. It contains mainly three regions. First one, cerebellum. First one, cerebellum. First one, cerebellum. First one, cerebellum. Second one, second one, pons varoli. Second one, pons varoli. Pons varoli. Second one, pons varoli. Third one, medulla oblongata. Third one, medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. So the hind brain contains three regions. One is the cerebellum. Cerebellum. Second one, pons varoli. Third one, medulla oblongata. Cerebellum, pons varoli, medulla oblongata. First heading cerebellum. First heading cerebellum. First one, cerebellum. So the cerebellum is also called as a little brain. Cerebellum is also called as little brain. Little brain. It is also called as a little brain. So the cerebellum is also called as a little brain. Cerebellum is also called as a little brain. Next one, it is the second largest part of the brain. It is the second largest part of the brain. Part of the brain. It is the second largest part of the brain. So the cerebellum is the second largest part of the brain. Second largest part of the brain. So first largest part of the brain, cerebrum. First largest part of the brain, cerebrum. Second largest part of the brain, cerebellum. First largest part, cerebrum. Second largest part is cerebrum. Second largest part of the brain is called as cerebrum. Next one, the cerebellum contains three regions. Cerebellum contains three regions. Contain three lobes. And it contains three regions. Cerebellum contains three regions. Two cerebellar hemisphere, two cerebellar hemispheres, two cerebellar hemispheres and central vermis. Central vermis. Two cerebellar hemisphere. Two cerebellar hemisphere means left cerebellar hemisphere and right cerebellar hemisphere. Left cerebellar hemisphere. Another one is the right cerebellar hemisphere. Right cerebellar hemisphere, left cerebellar hemisphere and right cerebellar hemispheres. Left cerebellar hemisphere and right cerebellar hemispheres. So see the diagram. So these are the brain. So these are the brain. So they are the pons varoli. So these are the pons varoli. Pons varoli. So these are the medulla oblongata. medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. Next one. Cerebellum. Next one, cerebellum. So these are the cerebellum. So these are the cerebellum. So these are the cerebellum. They are the cerebellum. So the hind brain contain three regions. Hind brain contain three regions. First one is the cerebellum. First one cerebellum. Second one pons varolii. Third one medulla oblongata. Cerebellum, pons varolii, medulla oblongata. So the cerebellum contain three regions. Cerebellum contain three regions. Two cerebellar hemispheres. One central hemisphere. So the cerebellum diagram. See the cerebellum diagram. So they are the three regions. So they are the right cerebellar hemisphere, right cerebellar hemisphere. Next one. So these are the left cerebellar hemisphere, left cerebellar hemisphere. So these are the central vermis. So they are the central vermis. Central vermis. So they are the three regions. So the cerebellum contains three regions: left cerebellar hemisphere, right cerebellar hemisphere, central vermis. Central vermis. Central vermis. So they are the cerebellum regions. The cerebellum contains three parts: left cerebellar hemisphere, right cerebellar hemisphere, and central vermis. Next one. Each cerebellar hemisphere. Next one, each cerebellar hemisphere contain three lobes. Each cerebellar hemisphere contain three lobes. One is the frontal lobe, one is the anterior lobe, second one is the posterior lobe, third one is the floccular lobe. So the each cerebellar hemisphere contain three lobes. Each cerebellar hemisphere contains three lobes: anterior lobe, posterior lobe, and floccular lobe. Anterior lobe, posterior lobe, and floccular lobe. So these are the anterior lobe, these are the posterior lobe, these are the floccular lobe. So they are the anterior, posterior and floccular. Same anterior, posterior and floccular lobe. So the each cerebellar hemisphere. So they are the one left cerebellar hemisphere, right cerebellar hemisphere. So the left cerebellar, each cerebellar hemisphere contain a 3 lobes. Each cerebellar hemisphere contain a 3 lobes. One is the anterior lobe, another one is the posterior lobe, another one floccular lobe. First one anterior lobe, second one posterior lobe, third one is the floccular lobe. So the same anterior lobe, posterior lobe and floccular lobe. So the each cerebellar hemisphere contain a 3 lobes. Each cerebellar hemisphere contain 3 lobes. One is the anterior lobe, another one is the posterior lobe, third one is the floccular lobe. Same another right cerebellar hemisphere, anterior lobe, posterior lobe and floccular lobe. So they are the each cerebellar hemisphere contain 3 lobes. Next one, so the cerebellum, the functions of the cerebellum. So they are the main functioning is the control and coordination of locomotory function. Cerebellum functions. So the cerebellum functioning is control and coordination. Control and coordination. Coordination of locomotory movements. Control and coordination of locomotory movements. So they are the cerebellum function. So the control and coordination of locomotory movements. The locomotory movements means so they are the movements. They controlling from the locomotory movements. So our walking or running, these movements are controlled by the cerebellum. Next one, so the cerebellum is also called as gyroscope of the body. The cerebellum is also called as gyroscope of the body. Gyroscope of the body. So the cerebellum is also called as gyroscope of the body. Gyroscope of the body. Because of, so these function, gyroscope means they are maintain the body equilibrium. Maintain body equilibrium. Maintain the body equilibrium. Body equilibrium means maintain the body balance. So these are the cerebellum is also called as gyroscope of the body. Cerebellum is also called as gyroscope of the body. So they are the gyroscope of the body. So the damaging of the gyroscope, the damaging of the cerebellum, they causing of the ataxia. Damaging of the cerebellum, they causing to the ataxia. Ataxia means uncoordinated voluntary muscles. Uncoordinated movements. So they are the uncoordination of the movements. So the damaging of the cerebellum, they causing to the disease ataxia. So the ataxia, causing of the ataxia. Ataxia means uncoordination of movements, uncoordination of locomotory movements. Next one, so the gyroscope of the, so the cerebellum contain a core of the tree-like structure. The gyroscope, the cerebellum contain a core of tree-like structure. Core of tree-like structure. So they are the white matter. So they are called as arbor vitae. So they are the core of tree-like structure. Core of tree-like structure of a white matter is called as arbor vitae. Core of white color tree-like structure. Is called as arbor vitae. So this white-like structure is covered by the grey color sheet. White color is covered by gyroscope. The arbor vitae is covered by sheet of grey color. Is called as cerebral cortex. cerebral cortex. So these are the cerebellum. So they are the cerebellum. See this like. So it look like a tree-like structure. So these are called as arbor vitae. So this arbor vitae is covered by the grey color. So this arbor vitae is covered by the grey color. So these are the cerebellar cortex. Cerebellar cortex. So these white color structure. So they are the blue color, but in the brain their color is a white color. So they are called as cerebellar medulla. Cerebellar medulla. So the cerebellar medulla is a white color, the cortex is the grey color. So these are the cerebellum. Once revise the cerebellum. So the cerebellum is also called as a little brain. The cerebellum is also called as a little brain. Cerebellum is also called as little brain. Next one. So it is the second largest part of the brain. Cerebellum is the second largest part of the brain. Next one. It contains three regions. The cerebellum contains three regions. One is the two cerebellar hemispheres, left cerebellar hemisphere, second one right cerebral hemisphere, third one central vermis. They contain three regions, left cerebellar hemisphere, right cerebellar hemisphere, central vermis. Next one, so each cerebellar hemisphere contains three lobes. Each cerebellar hemisphere contains three lobes. One is the anterior lobe, another one is the posterior lobe, third one is the floccular lobe. Anterior lobe, posterior lobe and floccular lobes. Next one, so the inner side of the cerebellum looks like a white color. It's like tree-like structure. So these are called as arbor vitae. So this white color is covered by the grey color sheath. So they are called as cortex, cerebellar cortex region. Next one, the cerebellum. This function, cerebellum function. So they are control and coordination. So the cerebellum function, control and coordination of locomotory movements. Next one, the cerebellum is also called as gyroscope of the body. So the gyroscope means, so they are the maintain the body equilibrium. Equilibrium means balance of the body. Next one, so the damage of the cerebellum, they causing the ataxia. Damaging of cerebellum causing to the ataxia. Ataxia means, so they are uncoordination locomotory movements. Next one, pons varoli.